here's the part that some people, maybe even most people, miss. And that is that you don't have to actually be in your dream until you start acting like it's real. In other words, you've used the visualization, you use your imagination. You don't have to wait until it shows up until you begin to act like it's actually real. You acting like it's real can help it to actually show up. Most of us wait for confirmation. We talked about that in the last 2 podcasts, for more external signals to prove that this is going to actually work, we're on the right path, or that we're not wasting our time. But if we can act and think and feel like it's already done, that's really the most powerful mechanism by which to attract the things that you want. So imagine, for example, you're an actor and you have an acting role, or you're even preparing for an acting role. What actors do is they study the character, they study the emotions, how they feel, they can walk and talk, they do what's called getting into character before the cameras even start to roll. And that's identity embodiment. Identity embodiment. When you are getting into the role of the character that you're about to play, that's what it's called. When actors are getting into that role, it's called identity embodiment. And when it comes to manifestation, it's one of the most powerful tools that we can have. I've heard it said so many times by very great thinkers that, using the methodology that many actors use in order to embody the actor or the subject, for the actor, whatever that is, they really go headlong into being and becoming that person. As a matter of fact, I heard many times on set, people like Will Ferrell just continue to be that person even when they're on break. If they're eating, crabs on break, Will is still that guy because he wants to remain in character. He doesn't want to break that. And that's what we're talking about today, how to feel deeply into our manifestation, into this self-image reprogramming and the science of transformation. When you become what you want to be on the inside, it must produce itself on the outside. Your outside has no other choice but to catch up with it. That's what we're talking about today on, I believe it's day 9. Day 9 of our 30-day series, Manifestation and Monetization. We're en route to creating revenue, monetizing our passion, the things that we love to do. How do we do that? Well, we're starting at the beginning. We are rewiring our subconscious mind. We are reevaluating who we believe we are so that we can understand what our passions are. And then we can get into how do we monetize that? How do we provide for ourselves and make this wonderful, wonderful life that we want to live while we are helping the people around us. So welcome into the podcast. My name is Kelly. It's always my sincere pleasure to welcome you into the podcast. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast. And you guys who've come over to YouTube, thank you for supporting. Please go into the YouTube side and like and comment and do all that stuff to let the algorithm know that we're there. And we would appreciate that. Also on Instagram, you guys have been really, really good for jumping over on Instagram and following us. We're getting a lot of new folks. 80% of the folks who are following us on Instagram and liking our posts and all these sorts of things are not even followers of ours yet. So let's do the same thing on the Instagram side. Let's boost it up because that helps the podcast grow. It helps us get this type of messaging out to more people. And you can help also. You can share this with a family member, a loved one, a friend, an associate. Doesn't really matter. Very close relative. Don't beat people across the head with any messaging, particularly mine. But if you can think of someone who this could benefit, share it with them. Talk to them about it, but don't force it on them. Okay. If they don't want to listen to it, then don't give it to them. You enjoy it and then you go on. So thank you so much for that. What else I got? If you go into the show notes, you can download or access the workbook that goes along with the series. And you can also access our website where there are a number of digital products and different things that we have that you can take advantage of. Also will help out the podcast, help you out and help us out as well. wherever you are listening to us in the world, thank you. Thank you so much. I have another confession to make. Yesterday, I confessed that I confused Council Bluff with Pine Bluff, Iowa. And so I cleaned that up. But I also heard myself say, thank you to people in Australia who follow us, but I also separately thank people in New South Wales. Sometimes when you're doing a podcast, you talk and you think you know what you're saying in your mind, but then you go back and you say, I didn't say that correctly. I am aware where New South Wales is. Why don't I just say it like this? Thank you, everyone, for supporting the podcast. I really appreciate the fact that, when we started this, I didn't really imagine how far it could go and travel. And until you get data analysis back on your podcast, is really sobering that all the way across this world, there are people listening to this podcast. And so we have a global community. I don't think it's a stretch in saying that. We have a global community. I feel a really great sense of humility and responsibility to provide you with really good information. Now, it's up to you to suss it out, right? Because I told you on day one, do not ever believe face value what anyone's telling you. And that includes me. You should always want to, and you should always do your own research, okay? It's one of the reasons why so many people are flying blindly today is because we've gotten too comfortable with allowing social media and the news and different people who are popular to tell us what we think. No, this is your life. It is your responsibility to suss out the things that are impacting your life. And so while I really appreciate you listening to this podcast, don't take everything I say or anything I say at face value. I give you resources and I give you information and ways to go and prove me wrong. I know I'm telling you correctly, but you don't know that. I could have a secondary motivation. While you go out and prove me wrong, in the proving me right, you're going to say, hey, this guy may in fact know what he's talking about. I want to give you more than value. I want you to think, hey, it's really worth listening to this podcast. I mean, that's my whole goal. So again, I want to thank New South Wales, Sydney. Council Bluffs is number one. I mean, running a very tight, I'm looking at the numbers now so I don't confuse myself. Then we're going to jump to the podcast. But Council Bluff, you guys are number one. Sydney, New South Wales, you guys are number two. And I'm going to try my best to say this, Dublin. Leinster, Leinstr, you guys are number three. Victoria, Melbourne, you guys are number four. So I'm in Atlanta. And I've listed the top 4 cities that listen to this podcast, and they are all the way on the other side of the globe. Now, coming at number 5 is LA, Chicago, Denver, Atlanta. So we've got, obviously U.S. cities listening, but this is popular all the way across the world. And I want to say, a big shout out to these guys. I really do appreciate everyone that listens to the podcast, particularly those who do it on a consistent basis. You've noticed the last few weeks, we put out a podcast every day. And that's my goal, to get back to where we were, putting out podcasts on a regular basis, so that you not only know, but you expect to get good quality information, even if it's, somewhat abbreviated and shorter, because we're doing a 30-day series. I can't do an hour on every particular topic, although I want to give you the best that I have. So I said all that to say thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and let's jump into it. Just jump into it. I'm making, as we get into this, I'm making the format for this series a certain way, and hopefully by now you've kind of caught on to it. And I give you an assessment of what we're going to talk about, and then I give you the opportunity. Following the opportunity immediately is the solution. The solution is really the meat of what we're talking about in that particular day. Why? Because that is the practice. And listen, on a high level, I hear people talk about, you don't need to do a practice. You just accept who you are. And And in many ways, I believe that. I believe it's just an uncovering and an understanding and an acceptance that you are where you are now perfectly fine. We don't really believe that because we feel like we have to do something. So the practice itself really is not to make you better or to make you into something that you're not. The practice is to pull back some of, if not all of, the old ideology and certainly the methodology and unveil who you actually are right now. And the practice is that. The practice is the unveiling of who you are, your perfection. Everything is good where it is. You're perfect where you are. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. You're exactly where you're supposed to be in this place and in this time. There's no coincidence that you're sitting here listening to this podcast. Your higher self has orchestrated this particular crossroads for you and I, to meet and for you to get this information for whatever reason is moving forward. You may listen to this podcast once, or you may listen to it 100 times, or you come back and you're the longest, standing member we have. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't believe there's any coincidences, and there's something here for you today. And it's my role, my responsibility to give that to you. So let's get into it. What's the opportunity? If you're waiting for proof, again, proof is a trap, but if you're waiting for proof to feel successful or confident or even worthy, then you're stuck in a loop of lack. Identity inertia. If you keep thinking that you need this proof, you're thinking like your old self. You keep creating your old life. You keep keeping that alive. And what we want to do is to allow that part of you to die off and get into the area, into that darker, unknown area, although it's uncomfortable, of saying, I trust the process, I trust source, I trust my higher self, that the direction I'm moving in is the right direction. And we're all in that space. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm certainly in that space now. I can testify to that. Because sometimes I look around me and my circumstances, my 3D doesn't really fit where I want it. Maybe 75% of the stuff is great, but it's 25%. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't work out anywhere close to the way I wanted it to. And if I focus on that, I could potentially screw up the 75, right? So what do? I'm doing what I'm telling you to do on a day-to-day basis, is to stay focus on your overall goal, stay committed to the process, still be open to what's taking place. Okay. Acceptance. Real transformations happens like this. Real transformation happens when you wake up and you decide who you are. You wake up, you decide who you are instead of waiting for life to tell you that. Many of us, and we don't really know until we know, right? When you're programmed as a kid from 1 to 7, 7 to 11, 11 to 21, nobody's really empowered or mature enough, I should say, to say, hey, is this for me? Sometimes you get some free thinkers that say, hey, I'm going to kind of buck the system and I'm kind of figure out what it is for me. But for the most part, the majority of people go along with the programming. They just do. We did. Here's the other thing. Show up to conversations. Show up to conversations, workouts, job interviews, and relationships as the version of you that you already, that you want to be instead of who you were. Okay. Show up in conversations. What does that mean? If you are a person that's confident and secure, but previously in conversations, you've not displayed that, now show up as somebody who's confident and secure. Show up as somebody who is optimistic and not pessimistic. I have to remind myself of this all the time. I have friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but I do sometimes have friends who are somewhat less optimistic than I am. I don't want to say pessimistic, but it's probably true. But they're less optimistic. And depending on the conversation we're having, it can go kind of downward spiraling, in terms of vibration. And I have to remind myself, I don't want to be in this conversation. This is not who I am anymore. I don't want to speak negatively about people who are not present. I don't want to speak negatively about people who are present. I don't want to engage in negative, conversations, even if they're true. Because people say, well, it's true. It doesn't matter to me if it's true or not. I don't want to engage in it. I don't want to engage in it. Nothing good is going to come from it. So the next thing is stop needing external evidence. This is what we've talked about. I'm not going to bend your ear about that. Stop needing the external evidence to feel worthy or ready or capable. Decide who you are and move forward. The question isn't, do I have proof? But the question is, am I being the proof? Okay, you have to make a decision and move in that direction, because the evidence and the external, the external manifestations come after the internal manifestation. Okay, this inner work is primary. The external is secondary. And that's the part that's difficult for us. We want to see things first before we believe it. And the way you can do that is to see it in your imagination. If you have to see it physically, you're going to be stuck in that loop. I know, I've been there. All right, what are some solutions? What are some practices that can help me to change my methodology? Here we go. Best solution: identity embodiment practices. This is what these are called: identity embodiment practices. Step number 1, visualize your future self. Okay, we've talked visualization here. We've talked meditation here. We've talked breath work, yoga, all these things. All of them have one thing in common. It is using your imagination and putting yourself in a position different than where you are now. So close your eyes and see the version of you that already has the result that you want. Okay, relationship, health, marriage, health, marriage, relationship and marriage, same thing. Well, not the same thing, but it falls in the same category. Wealth, resources, career, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you would like to have. House, new, geography in terms of I want to move somewhere different. I want to move from my apartment to a house. I want to move from Georgia to London, whatever it is. Close your eyes and see that version of you that has that, not the thing so much. Don't concentrate on the thing so much. Concentrate on the version of you that has the thing. Well, what's the difference? The difference is, instead of the thing motivating you, instead of the thing, let it be the version of you, because that version of you exists now. You just have to align with it. You can be more confident. You can be more secure. You can do these things. And if the person that has the things you want is more confident and secure, just match it with those emotions and see, doesn't the thing come to you? Notice their posture. What are they doing? What's their tone? What's their morning routine like? What are some choices that they make on a regular basis? Because you're going to be faced with those same choices. And when those choices come up, it's important for you to say to yourself, how would the best version of me respond to this? And respond that way. Don't respond to your situation the way you did 2 weeks ago or a month ago before you had this information. Respond the way that you believe the best version of yourself would respond to the current situation. All right, step number 2, pick one anchor habit. What does that mean? Well, what does your future self do daily? What does your future self do on a regular basis? Does it journal? Does it meditate? Does it have morning routine? Is it, I don't know, have you changed your diet? Not went on a diet, but did you change your diet? Does he or she have boundaries? Start that habit today. Okay. Let's say your future self is 100 pounds lighter than your current self. Okay. Perhaps one of the things that your future self does is exercises daily. Like, you don't currently do that now, but your future self does that. That habit you can institute today. It doesn't matter what the exercise is, but if you're not doing anything, it certainly doesn't matter. Doing something is better than doing nothing. And getting to your future self, that person, that version of you that's 100 pounds lighter than you are today and healthier and has a much longer life expectancy, just simply based on your better health, is awaiting. So start that habit today. Step number 3, rewrite the language. You see, this is a recurring theme because this contract that you have with yourself, when you journal, you are creating a contract with yourself. And one of the reasons why I like to journal is I feel more emotionally tied. I feel more emotionally tied to the subject matter. And I feel like I am more convincing to myself. And I also believe this is a verbal or a written contract. I'm writing this down. Universe sees it. I see it, and it becomes what I need it to be. It becomes manifested. So rewrite the language. Stop saying I hope or I wish. I got to tell you something. This is absolutely true.
On Instagram years ago.
I watched. I think yes, Dick Gregory.
And if I
watched a clip of him on Instagram years ago. This got to be 7 years ago.
He went on this really.
And if I find it, I'll see if I can put it in the show notes.
Tirade about.
But he went on this really.
And it changed the way
passionate.
that I saw
let me just call it tirade about why you shouldn't say you hope.
Because
it changed the way that I saw the word hope. I don't ever use hope anymore. Because he stated very clearly that hope is sort of a
you don't really trust
non-committal way of
and also
moving forward. You don't really trust in the process if you're hoping for something. And also, I don't know how many people listen to Osa.
Don't even believe.
And I think I'm saying his name right.
Like either you know it or you don't.
But he takes it a step forward and say, don't even believe in stuff.
The sun.
Like either you know it or you don't. And the examples he gave were things like you don't believe in the sun.
You absolutely know that
believe in trees. You don't believe in grass. You don't believe in cars.
Especially from the
you absolutely know that there are cars and trees and the sun.
Believe in stuff.
When people, especially from the faith side,
we use words like hope,
we want to believe in stuff. We want to have faith. We want these things to be true. So we use words like hope, belief, and faith.
We're willing to agree
we don't. That says to us,
but we don't quite know.
We are willing. We're willing to agree that this is possible, but we don't quite know.
On the manifestation.
But what they're saying is
you saying to the particle,
your knowing,
which doesn't even
has an effect on the manifestation.
Point your attention to it.
You saying to the particle, which doesn't even move until you point your attention to it.
In the quantum,
and that's if you don't understand what that means, I'm gonna have to do a whole podcast on that because that statement itself. In the quantum, it's been proven, science has proven that particles don't even begin to assimilate or move until attention is being addressed or put on. So what I'm saying is,
this is what it is.
Bypass faith, hope, and trust,
be definitive in that.
And now, just say it is.
It's problematic to
this is what it
mind.
Is. And be definitive in that. Now, it's problematic to your logical mind. Very problematic to your reason and rationale. Because you have eyes. And I have emotions. And I have ears, Kelly. I'm at this job every day.
X and Y.
It's simply not true.
Not today. Not at this job.
It's not true. It's not true that
X
is X and Y is Y. Not today. Not at this job that I work at.
It's not because I can see.
And you want X to be X, and you want Y to be Y. But you're saying it's not because I can see.
Form of vision.
Well, the best vision, the absolutely best form of vision is when you are seeing things with your eyes closed.
Really no other process.
I.e. your imagination.
It's got to change internally.
And in order for things to change, it must change internally. There's really no other process. It's got to change internally. You've got to let go of what is. What is old news. It is a result of your past thinking, of actions you've taken in the past. If you are overweight, there's nothing you can do by going backwards and beating yourself up over eating the way you used to eat. There's nothing. It's resulted in you being overweight. That's it. Accept that.
However, moving forward,
and you see that. You feel that. It's your body every day. You see it in the mirror. I get it. However, moving forward, you must see yourself at the weight you want to be. It's not true today, but it doesn't mean that you
Just
cannot
say,
achieve that.
I am.
So instead of having
insert the weight you wanna be,
hope
and
and
say
trust
this to
and belief
yourself every
that you
day.
can lose the weight, just
And
say,
refuse to believe
I
anything.
am, insert the weight you want to be, and say
All right.
this to yourself every day.
Rewrite the language. Stop saying I hope.
And
I
refuse to
wish.
believe anything else.
All right. Say I am. I've decided. I am.
Rewrite
I've
the
decided.
language. Stop saying I hope and I
Step
wish.
number 4, dress,
All right.
walk,
Say I
speak
am.
like them.
I've
This
decided.
goes back
I
to
am.
what we
I've
talked about
decided.
In terms of your,
Step number
future
4,
self, your
dress,
higher
walk,
self. Your brain
speak
responds
like
to physical
them.
cues,
This goes
so
back to
use
what
them
we
to
talked about in
install
terms
this
of your future
And
self,
if
your
you're
higher
consistent
self.
with
Your
this,
brain responds to physical
I've
cues,
done this.
so use
If you're
them to
consistent
install
with
this belief.
This works.
And
It
if we're
absolutely works. It
consistent with
makes you
this,
feel better.
because
You feel
I've
more you may
done
not
this,
have any more
if
money
you're
in your
consistent
pocket
with
today
this,
than you
this
did
works.
yesterday. But when you
It absolutely
walk
works. It
like
makes you feel better.
have all
You
the
feel more
resources
confident. You
in the
may not
world,
have any more
it
money in your
feels
pocket today than you did yesterday.
Okay?
But when you
Step number 5,
walk
document
like
your
you
environment.
have all the
Every day
resources in the
reflect
world,
at the end of
it
the day,
feels
what did I do
differently.
today that proves
Okay?
I already
Step number
am
5,
the
document
version
your
of my
embodiment.
best
Every day
self?
reflect at
Every
the end of the day,
reflect,
what did I do today that
today
proves I already
shows
am the
and
version
proves that
of
I
my
already am
best
the best
self?
version?
Every day reflect,
your
what
5
did I do today that
All right.
shows and
Acting like
proves
it's
that I already
done
am the best
makes
version of
it
me?
done.
Those are your 5
This is the
steps.
law of assumption.
All right. Acting like it's already done makes
Your
it
identity is the
done.
seed,
This
and
is the law of
fruit is what's
assumption.
gonna come later.
Acting like
Again,
it's already
the internal
done
work
makes it
and then
done.
the external,
Your identity is the seed,
manifestation.
and the fruit is what's going to
biggest
come
benefit
later.
of this is that you
Again,
stop
it's
living
the
in a
internal
waiting
work
mode.
and then
You're not
the
waiting on
external
anyone but yourself.
manifestation.
You step into becoming.
The biggest benefit of
That's
this is
when
that you stop
reality
living
bends
in a
in your
waiting
favor.
mode. You're not waiting on anyone
go
but
over these
yourself.
practices
You
again.
step
There's
into
a morning
becoming,
mirror
and that's
affirmation
when
piece.
reality bends in
Speak
your
to
favor.
yourself as your
So let's
future
go
self
over these
would.
practices again.
Speak
There's a
to
morning mirror
yourself
affirmation piece.
as your future
Speak
self would.
to yourself as your future self would.
Anchor the habit
Speak
reminder.
to yourself
Stick it on your
as your
mirror,
future
Put it
self
on your
would.
phone. We get notifications for
Okay?
everything else.
Anchor the habit
Anchor a
reminder.
habit reminder.
Stick it on
That's
your
number
mirror.
2. Number 3.
Put it on your
30-minute
phone.
posture
We get
reset.
notifications
Look
for
at
everything
yourself
else.
throughout the day. Check
Anchor
your
a
stance.
habit
Put
reminder.
your shoulders
That's
up.
number 2. Number
Embrace
3,
and embody
30-minute
confidence.
posture reset. Look at yourself
Step
throughout the
number
day.
4,
Check
speak
your
it
stance.
to one
Put your
person.
shoulders
Say out
up.
loud
Embrace and
what you're
embody
manifesting
confidence.
as if it's already
Step
done.
number 4, speak it
I would
to
suggest
one
that
person. Say out
be you.
loud what you're manifesting
somebody
as
very
if it's
well
already
trusted.
done.
Because the last thing
I
you
would
need
suggest that one
is
person be
someone
you.
to kinda
Or somebody
confidence,
very
and then
well
you stop
trusted.
doing these practices.
Because the last thing you need
Last skill
is someone
is
to
the,
kind of
the journal.
batter your confidence, and
List 2
then
to
you
3
stop
things that
doing
you
these
did today
practices.
that your future
Last
self
deal
would
is
do.
the
List 2 to
journaling.
3 things that you did today
List 2 to
that
3
your
things that
future
you
self
did
would do.
today that your
Remember,
future self
this is,
would do. List
episode
2 to 3
9,
things that you
30-day
did today
series.
that your
This is
future self
embodying
would do.
before evidence.
Remember,
In
this
other
is
words, you are
episode 9
best,
in a 30-day series. This is embodying
proof
before
that you'll ever
evidence.
have.
In other
The
words,
internal comes
you
before the
are
external.
the best
Do the internal work, the external will show.
proof that
Okay?
you'll ever have.
Go back.
The internal
listen to the
comes before the
podcast.
external.
Again, we went a little longer.
Do the internal
Today
work,
was a
the
lot of good
external
stuff
will
in
show
there.
up.
Go back and
Okay?
listen to it again.
Go back,
And I
listen
am
to the
sure that
podcast.
this will
Again,
be
we went a little
of
longer
use to you. Make
today.
notes.
There's a lot of good stuff
Make sure you
in
go
there.
into
Go back,
our
listen
show
to it again.
notes and download the
And
workbook
I
that
am
you
sure
need
that
in
this
order
will
to
be
keep up with us.
of use
All
to
right?
you. Make
We'll be back
notes.
on
Make sure you go into
tomorrow
our show
with,
notes and download the workbook that you
day
need
10.
in order to
Day
keep
10.
up with this.
Guys,
All
have a
right.
good one. Talk
We'll
to
be
you soon.
back on tomorrow with day 10. Day 10. You guys have a good one. Talk to you soon.